When most post-secondary colleges bake their cake, so to speak, a third of the batter just ends up on the ground.
Many companies looking to hire employees with high-tech skills, but they don't want to train them. One Tennessee business is doing just that, though, working to secure their future by paying for the skills up front.
Is this partnership between higher education and business out there, is this going to be the wave of the future?
What prompted even that thought process to turn into something like BlueSky?
Oh goodness, you're taking me way back now. Listen, I think this started with the frustration coming out of our own IT team, right? Around the difficulty getting the talent we needed, the realization that this talent pipeline was the future of the company. When most post-secondary colleges bake their cake, so to speak, a third of the batter just ends up on the ground. There's some institutions that do better, and they do better not by spending ungodly amounts of money or only taking certain students. They do it with really obvious wraparounds and supports and anticipating what the students' needs are, listening to the students along the way.
We just want to make sure the batch process went fine, I think. Did we get the last two?
We're a not-for-profit, community-driven company, right? So we've got larger motivations than just securing our pipeline. It's also trying to have an impact on our community. And one of our founding beliefs going into this was that this is a skill set that anybody with the right exposure should be able to learn.
So inside we can have things like fishing that can be lateral. If we had a vulnerability, for example,
I think what surprised me the most was something that I had heard actually from JD and from ETSU, that this is a learnable skill. But as someone who's not a computer scientist or someone in IT, it was hard for me to wrap my mind around that. This is a really difficult degree field. It's a very complicated set of skills to learn. And most of our students came in with absolutely no exposure.
Would you say there's sort of like a steep learning curve where you sort of have to go through a lot of dense information, or is it something that just gradually comes to you with experience?
oh, that's a tricky question.
I was very nervous. It was hard. I would say the whole program is very hard. You have to be very humble and patient to do that. But today I'm here.
No one in the country does that. No one in the country does that, except this group of students. And they didn't just graduate from college in 2 years. They're graduating with a great job offer that will turn into hopefully a great career. And we help them start that. And I told every single one of them that I talked to that I was proud of them. Because they just accomplished something. They just graduated college in 2 years.
It was like a 1 in a million chance for this program to even pop up in the first place. And now for me to be 20 years old, I'll be turning 21 in February, and I'll already have a job offer. Compared to a bunch of students coming out of college, that's like almost unheard of.
I always knew that I wanted to kind of like take a step, take a leap to try new things. And for this program being like a first of its kind, I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. And going into it and coming out of it now, getting towards the end, I feel relieved. I feel accomplished. I feel like I've acquired so much out of this.
We've been talking a lot about the growing demand for technology talent nationwide. So in today's Biz School segment, we're talking about an innovative program that's providing a pathway for students to easily move into the workforce.
Yeah, Blue Cross, Blue Shield of Tennessee, and East Tennessee State University have joined forces to launch what's called the BlueSky Institute.
Bradley, thanks so much for being with us. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of the program. How does it all work, and what can students expect going into the program and then eventually landing a job with the company?
It's an accelerated bachelor's degree in computing. So what would usually take 4 years, students can complete in 27 months. The second component is that it's all at the Blue Cross corporate headquarters. We do that so that students can get mentored by senior executives so that they can take a full year of paid internships. And finally, and I think most exciting to students and parents, is the fact that they not only graduate in 27 months, but they do so with no debt and a guaranteed job at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee on our IT team.
I'm sure everyone in Blue Sky feels the pride, but they started it. And I know that they're going to look back and just be incredibly inspired by what they created.
I've had a lot of growth when it comes to Blue Cross, and they have continuously invested in me, not just in my successes, but also in my failures and places where I've failed to see where I could do better, or failed to be able to push myself as far as I really can go. They've been able to step in and say, hey, you can do this. You don't have to be afraid of these things. We are here to support you, and that is something that culture of heart is. That's what I call the culture of heart. Is something that I simply can't. I'm not going to take for granted. I'm going to keep living on.